Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and I make crochet related tutorials and videos, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this adorable hair clip inspired by Love and Deep Space. MC wore this hair clip in one of the limited time events. I cannot for the life of me remember which one it was, but I remember it was just too cute and I had to make one for myself. I was thinking of making the hair clips for the other three guys, but if there are any other Love and Deep Space related crochet tutorials you want, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll add it to the list and I'll give it a go. So that's all from me, let's get right into the video. These are the 4 colors of yarn we'll be using today, and you're also going to need a hair clip. I would recommend using one that's smooth like this and not one with a bit of texture because of the glitter like this one. We're going to start by crocheting around the hair clip. For this, what I like to do is pull this tail back just a little bit because it makes it easier to get into the clip. We're going to be using our clip to make the leaf of our headpiece. So I'm going to be starting with my green yarn and I'm going to make a slip knot and I'm going to pop that on my hook. So I'm going to start by making 2 single crochets into the side of this clip. So insert your hook under the metal, pull up a loop and pull through 2, and then we're going to do that one more time. So insert our hook into the loop, pull up a loop and pull through 2. You want to push these 2 single crochets up as far as they can go, and we're now going to make chains reaching over to the other side. I'm going to make 3, but I'm going to make mine really tight. Now I've done my 3 chains. These are going to reach over to the other side so I can crochet along here. For me, I'm going to need 8 stitches. You might need more or less, but do your best to remember this number because we're going to need it when we come back around. So I'm going to make my next 8 single crochets around the clip. So these are my 8 stitches around my clip. I'm actually going to add one more just so it can sit much nicer. So now I have 9 stitches in total and my 9th stitch is climbing over the curve. So now working along this other side, I'm only going to make 7 stitches. Remembering that we did the 2 at the start, this will give us a total of 9. So now I've made 7 single crochets, so in total both sides will have 9 single crochets. This part is going to happen, we really can't help it, but the next row is going to help it sit a lot nicer. So to finish our first row, we're going to slip stitch to the top of our first single crochet, which is this one here. Pull it nice and tight, and now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to make a single crochet back into that same stitch we just slip stitched into, and then into the second single crochet right here, and now we want to crochet into the 3 chain space. So we're going to do 1 half double crochet and we're going to go under the chain. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets again, all under the chain. and then we're going to do 1 half double crochet. And then we're going to single crochet along until we reach this point here. And then on this stitch that goes across the pointy part of your clip, we're going to make 3 single crochets. So that covers the pointy part of your clip, and then we're going to make single crochets into every stitch until we reach our chain 1. And once you reach the end, you want to make a slip knot to the top of your first single crochet. I'll be using hot glue to stick these edges down so they sit comfortably, but if you want to stitch it down, you can do that too. Now we're going to start making the main flower. So you want to start with a magic ring. So wrap your yarn around your fingers like so, and catch the other end with your thumb. Go under your first line of yarn and pick up the second with your hook. Take it off your fingers and use your working yarn to chain 1. Once we've done that, we're going to chain 1 more. And we're going to make 5 half double crochets into the ring. So now we have 5 half double crochets. We're going to tighten up our ring. So I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop and make a slip knot nice and tight. Chain 2, and now I'm going to make 2 half double crochets into every stitch, so we should have 10 in total at the end of the row. So again, in the back loops, we are making 2 half double crochet. Once you reach the end of the row, you're going to make a slip stitch to the top of our first half double crochet here. So now we're going to start making our petals. To start, you're going to chain 5. And in the second stitch from our hook, we're going to make 1 slip stitch. After that, we're going to make double crochets in the next 2 stitches. but I like to pull up this loop just a little so it's longer than usual. I'll show you that again. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, and we're going to make it longer. And then finish the stitch as normal. So in our last chain, we're going to make something called a double crochet slip stitch. To start, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain and pull up a loop. Next, insert your hook into the next stitch in our ring, which is this one here. And then pull up a loop and use that loop to pull through the next 2 stitches on your hook. Now we have 2 stitches on our hook. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and use that loop to pull through the last 2 stitches. And that is our double crochet slip stitch and our very first petal. We're going to repeat this all the way around until you have 5 petals. So to start, chain 5. In the second stitch from your hook, we're going to make a slip stitch. And then we're going to double crochet, remembering to pull up our first loop. Then we're going to finish with a double crochet slip stitch. So now we finished our last double crochet slip stitch. I'm actually going to make a normal slip stitch into the side of this initial chain here. And that closes the first row of our flower. You can stretch out the petals a little too, which really helps with the shaping. You can now cut off your yarn here and we're going to start making the second row of petals. So we're now going to be crocheting into our front loops. As you can see, we've got 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's good to identify and loosen up all these that you can find before we start the next round. I'm going to start with this front loop here. So I'm going to insert my hook, and then I'm going to make a slip knot with my light yellow yarn. And then I'm going to put my slip knot onto my hook, tighten it up, and then I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm going to make 1 slip stitch into the second stitch from my hook. And then I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. But just like with the double crochets, I'm going to stretch this loop out a little bit and then pull through all the loops on my hook. Once I've done that, I'm going to slip stitch into the next front loop, which is this one here. Chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the second stitch from our hook. And then make 2 stretched half double crochets. And then I'm going to slip stitch to our next top loop. and then you're going to repeat this for your next 3 petals. So now we're going to make a slip stitch to finish off our last petal, and we're going to put it into the same stitch we started our first one with. And then you can fasten off this row. Now that we've finished our 2 rows, we're going to use some French knots to make the pollen in the center of the flower. For this, we're going to be using our darker colored yellow yarn. Once you've finished sewing on your pollen, you can then weave in your ends. I like to take them through to the back and secure them with a dot of hot glue, but you can sew these in if you prefer. Now I'm going to be using my hot glue gun to attach the flower to the clip, as well as securing the threads on the end of my clip as well, and these 2 ends, so it looks nice. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As like the #1 Zane stan, I just had to make it. I couldn't help myself. If you do make your own, I would love to see it. I'm at crochetforthegirlies on Pinterest, TikTok and Instagram. You can send it to me on any of those profiles or tag me in your posts. If you like the tutorial, please like and subscribe. It really helps me keep this channel going and keep giving you guys free tutorials. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.